You aren't the only one that gets overwhelmed when it comes to decorating. If you find yourself going to the store making impulse purchases that you regret as soon as you get home, or you find yourself having a hard time envisioning what your room's gonna look like, and so you're afraid to even get started, it's time to say goodbye to that today. I want to show you how to stop all the stress that comes along with decorating. So stay tuned because it's time to make decorating so much easier. Hey decor friends, I'm Tamara with Design Your Way Home, and I believe that decorating should not be difficult. So welcome to my internet home, where I break down decorating into easy to follow steps so you can confidently turn your house into a home you love, one small space at a time. Okay, so a few years ago, I did a survey to my email list, and I basically asked them, what's so challenging when it comes to decorating? What has you feeling overwhelmed? And I got a lot of responses. There are a few responses that I heard over and over and over again. And not only did I hear those responses back to back in pretty much the same wording during that survey, but I continue to hear it. So it's kind of like what you hear in elementary school when your teacher encourages you to ask a question, because she always says, believe me, if you have the question, someone else does. I'm taking that same approach here. Because I've heard these statements over and over again, I want to share with you some tips that'll help you overcome decorating overwhelm. So if you're feeling overwhelmed when it comes to decorating, one of the issues is probably because you don't know what you want. And you know you have that problem when you find yourself walking around Home Goods in a circle over and over and over again because you can't make up your mind. And another way is because you just deal with the frustrations in your home. If you find yourself going to sit down at your breakfast table, the chair's old, it hurts every time you sit on it, it hurts when you stand up, it's uncomfortable, it's unsightly, but you haven't done anything about it, it's probably because you're feeling overwhelmed. And it's probably because you don't know what to do to fix it. But I've got a solution for you. When you don't know what you want, it's good if you pay attention to how you're living right now. Like really, in this exact moment. And then I want you to take all of those Pinterest pins you've had, all of those screenshots that you've gotten from Instagram with the beautiful room. I want you to try to get all of those together in one place. And put them on a folder on your phone, whatever you need to do so that you can look at them sitting beside a piece of paper and actually write down and jot down notes about what you like about each of those pictures. And write that out in detail along with what you don't like. What you're trying to figure out is what you like, what you're attracted to. Once you know what you're attracted to, it helps you filter through everything else that you don't like, that doesn't fit your style, that doesn't fit your personality or how you and your family live in your home, and that will help fight decorating overwhelm. One of the other things that leads to decorating overwhelm is when you don't know where to start. And when you feel that way, you tend to do the whole go big or go home, and you'll go out and it might be an impulse purchase, but you are definitely doing things that make you feel more overwhelmed, really. An example of that would be going to the store, buying this super huge, big, comfy sectional. But you get it home and you realize a few things. It's too big for your space. It doesn't match anything else you have in your house. And it's not even the style of anything else in your house. And let me just say that if you're sitting here thinking, man, I would never do that. I'm not gonna go out there and buy something as big as a sofa. I know I'm gonna mess it up. Then you might be on the other end of the spectrum, which is not doing anything at all. If you're sitting in the home and you have the same decor that you had when the Golden Girls was on TV Live, and so is the Cosby Show in a different world, it's probably because you don't want to make a mistake and you don't know where to start when it comes to decorating. But I've got a fix for you on this one too. When you don't know where to start, the solution is to start small. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is that God does not despise small beginnings. That's actually one of the values of Design Your Way Home. I live by that. I believe that saying, go big or go home, can actually go kick rocks. Because if you do like the super big thing, like I talked about earlier, like buying a huge sofa for your room, first of all, sofas are a lot more expensive than starting small with doing some like small decorating and giving decorating a shot and finding out what you like and what you don't like, and maybe some things you need to learn, a few design principles to make it easier. But if you start big, you've just totally overwhelmed yourself. So start small. And the other thing that you can do is take pictures of your room exactly how it looks now. And I'm gonna show you when we go over the next way that overwhelm shows up, how you can use those pictures. When you can't visualize how things will turn out and how they'll look in your room when you actually set it up, you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed. If you're walking around Home Goods, trying to figure out how that wall decor that you just picked out is gonna look at your home, but you can't for the life of you decide if it's gonna look good on the wall over your dining room table, or if it's really just gonna throw everything else off because you've got an open floor plan and you can see your living room from your dining room table, and then you just started to have like 1,000 design questions and you just don't know what to do? Yeah, let me help you fix that. That picture that I told you to take earlier, it's gonna come in so much handy. I can't tell you how many times I go to a store, I whip up my phone, and I look at how my room looks right now. So when I'm standing at the shelf at Home Goods and I see some new wall decor or I see a new throw pillow, I can look at my phone at my dining room table, I can look at my phone for my sofa, and while I've got the phone right in front of the item I'm contemplating about buying, it's so much easier to see, do I like this? Is this gonna look right? And make a decision based off of how your house actually looks right now. The other way to help you make a decision about will things look right in your house is to create a mood board. And yes, I have videos on how to create a mood board for your home. How to create what I call an envision board, which is what I call a mood board on steroids. So a mood board is when you take, say, the lamp, flowers, candle votives, wall decor, and you put them all on a blank sheet of paper, whether digitally or in real life, and you see how they all look together. An envision board is pretty much like a 3D version of your room. So you see your sofa exactly how it's laid out, and you're able to put the wall decor right behind it with the right size and scale. So it helps you look at measurements and colors a little bit more realistically than what a mood board does. And also setting up a floor plan, getting some graph paper and jotting down how big your sofa is, how big your dining room table is, along the wall, how big of a canvas or the wall decor that you should hang up above your dining room table should be. Once you pay attention to measurements and scales, once you look at the picture of the space that you're working with and the item that you're hoping to buy, visualizing becomes so much easier. One of the top reasons people say that they feel decorating to be so overwhelming is because they say they just don't know how to. If you find yourself sitting one or two things down on the counter and calling it a day, even though you know in the back of your mind that what you just did to try to decorate was a flop, it's probably because you feel like you don't know how to decorate. And the other way this shows up is, again, when you just don't do anything. But again, we can fix this. There are a few keys to decorating that make it so much easier as a whole. If you understand proper size and scale, and no, you don't have to break out math formulas, Create a Made Easy Jumpstart and Power Pack, I actually tell you the right size rugs and wall decors that you should get for any room in your house. Also, a way to arrange your decor and furniture that follows a tried and true method. So, one of the keys to decorating is what made the light bulb go off for me several years ago and I felt like I cracked the code when it came to decorating. And that's understanding this when it comes to arranging furniture and arranging decor. And that is what I call like the 4 keys. When you have height, when you have interest, when you have depth, and you have variety in your decorating when it comes to arranging things on a tabletop like behind me, and then taking it to the other level and arranging like furniture and wall decor and your overall entire room scheme. Those 4 keys makes it so much easier. And one of the other keys to decorating is understanding color and how to mix and match fabrics and colors. Once you understand those, you'll stop saying that you don't know how to decorate. As I say in the intro to every video, I believe that decorating should not be difficult. So if you're tired of letting the overwhelm and stress of decorating get in the way of creating a home you love, then you can grab my Decorating Made Easy Jumpstart. You can click on the link in the description or go to designyourwayhome.com/jumpstart. Remember, decorating doesn't have to be hard. Let's make it easy.